Hey guys, it's Lucas Sharp here, back again with another little video. Well, what can I say? Of course, football season is closing to an end. And that's why I wanted to come on here, because if you think about it, this is the last normal season of college football. Even though it still feels kind of different. Because, well, an undefeated team got left out of the playoffs this year. An undefeated Power 5 team got left out of the playoffs for the first time ever. Which is absolutely insane. But, yeah, we're not going to get into that. But, yeah, if you think about it, this is the last normal season. Because, of course, next year, Texas and Oklahoma, of course, joining the SEC. They'll officially be joining the SEC in, I think, July of next year, which will probably be around the time the new NCAA football game comes out, because, of course, it's still coming out. It'll be coming out probably around June or July of next year of 2024, and I can't wait. You best believe I'm going to buy that game. It's going to be so fun. Yeah. But what else? Of course, USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon going to the Big Ten, which is going to be weird. You also have Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State going to the Big 12 next year. Man. And then Cal, Stanford, and SMU are going to the ACC next season. That's insane. And what's crazy is that SMU won the American this year in their last season in the American. And of course, another unrelated news. Of course, Army. I didn't even know this was announced. Not gonna lie, I wasn't even paying attention. But apparently, Army is going to the American next season. I didn't even know that happened. Like, Army is going to the American. I didn't even hear that news happened. Which leaves for questions. Does Notre Dame, do they finally join a conference next year? Because, also another thing, they're going to the 12-team playoff next year. Because I think how the 12-team playoff is going to work, it's going to be the 6 highest-ranked conference champions get in, and then 6 at-large bids. So let's say if they did the playoff system this year. If they would have done it this year, it would have been, in no particular order, the 6 highest-ranked conference champions, I'm pretty sure would have been, well, Michigan, in no particular order, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Texas, Alabama, and then Liberty. Yeah. And apparently, like, the 4 highest-ranked conference champions would, like, get a first-round bye, which would absolutely be insane. So, your teams with a first-round bye would have been, this year, would have, of course, been Michigan, Washington, Texas, and then Alabama, with Florida State getting the 5 seed. And then 6 at-large bids, which, of course, you would have Georgia in there. I think you would also have Missouri, Penn State, Ohio State. I don't know who else you would have, but yeah, you get my point. But yeah, this would have been the perfect year to have a 12-team playoff. This would have been the perfect year. I'm very excited for when the 12-team playoff comes, because it's more football. Why would you not want more football? And it makes more exciting games. Like, who doesn't want... In my opinion, it's better for the sport, because, listen, how would you... Because, like, the first round of the playoff games, they're going to be, like, hosted in, of course, the higher-seeded team stadium. Like, for example, 5-seeded Florida State. If they would have done 12-team playoff this year, it would have been 5-seeded Florida State versus 12-seeded Liberty. Like, who wouldn't want to see that? And it would have been a playoff game played at Florida State Stadium. You best believe it would have been sold out. So, yeah, man, it would have been awesome. But, yeah, they really needed the 12-team playoff this year. But, nonetheless, this is the last normal season of college football. Because, also, CBS, they've been with the SEC for, like, over 20 years. And now the CBS is going to be with the Big Ten now. Good news for us SEC fans. We don't have to listen to Gary Danielson anymore. That's the only good news coming out of that. But I definitely will kind of miss CBS. It's definitely going to feel weird not playing at the 3:30 time slot. Thankfully, since we're on ESPN or ABC, we can get a 7:30 primetime game instead. That's amazing. Because usually, like, the best game for the SEC that week is usually played at, like, 3:30 on CBS. But not anymore. It gets to be played at 7:30, so everybody gets to watch. It's going to, yeah, next year, I can't wait for next season. It's going to be awesome. And also, Pac-12, of course, going to be the Pac-2 next season. Oregon State and Washington State, they've made it clear that they don't want to leave the conference. They want to try to help rebuild the conference, which is definitely going to be hard. Both teams have agreed that they're both going to be playing 5 Mountain West teams next year. 5. Yeah, it's going to be hard for Oregon State or Washington State to get in the playoffs next year, considering the committee's probably going to treat them like group of 5 teams. But I mean, I'm not saying they could probably still make it, considering they're expanding it to 12 next year, but it's going to be hard. Personally, what if they had, like, the college football playoff be like March Madness in a way? Like, you know, in March Madness, they let every single conference tournament winner get into the NCAA tournament. It don't matter how crappy your conference is. If you win your conference tournament, you're still getting in the NCAA tournament. What if they did that with college football? Like, every single conference champion, like every single Power 5 conference champion and every single Group of 5 conference champion got into the playoff, and then 6 at-large bids. What if they did that? I feel like that'd be so freaking cool. So it'd be kind of like March Madness in a way, but of course with way less teams. But yeah. But, you know, I don't know. It's definitely going to be, next season is definitely going to be weird. Going to have to get used to Texas and Oklahoma being in the SEC. And you know what? Texas, man. Texas and Oklahoma, they're getting good, especially Texas, at the right time. Because Texas, of course, made the college football playoff this year. Even have a legitimate shot to win it all this year. So, yeah, man, Texas, they're back. Texas is back, and they're back at the right time. Because, of course, remember when Oklahoma and Texas announced that they were joining the SEC, there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, Texas, they ain't gonna survive in the SEC. They're gonna get clapped." But now Nope. It looks like Texas, they're going to survive in the SEC. They're going to thrive. Oklahoma as well, honestly. I will say some teams that will definitely like get left in the dust in the new SEC are like Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Florida. I'd probably also say Kentucky. So yeah, man, I'm excited for next year. And of course, I was actually excited when Oklahoma and Texas was announced because I've been saying this. I don't know if I've said this on this channel before, but I've been saying it like multiple times on Twitter and everything. Tennessee and Texas has the potential to be a pretty big rivalry game. And I'm all here for it. Like, I cannot wait for Texas to come to the SEC because I truly do believe that Tennessee and Texas has the potential to become a rivalry. But, of course, yes, I understand Texas and Oklahoma. With them coming, it does kill some rivalries from the Big 12. Like, Oklahoma leaving, it kills the rivalry with Oklahoma State. Texas, I think it kills the rivalry with Baylor. I'm pretty sure they had a rivalry with Baylor. But it does bring back some old rivalries, though. Like Texas A&M brings that rivalry back. Texas, Arkansas brings that rivalry back. It also brings back Oklahoma and Missouri, which is apparently a rivalry. So, yeah. Yeah, it brings back some old rivalries. So, and it gives us a chance to make some new ones. So, yeah. And then, of course, that just led to a big chain reaction of teams, like, interchanging and joining different conferences and such. I don't know. I feel like it's in Florida State now, especially since they made the playoffs, because, well, their conference is a crap hole. Florida State's trying to leave the ACC, and I've heard rumors as of late that they're trying to join the Big Ten, which, I don't know. If they join the Big Ten, I'm going to be somewhat pissed because, for one, if Florida State wanted to leave the ACC, they should have came to the SEC. Because they have a rivalry with Florida there. Like, Florida State, Florida, of course, like, probably Florida's biggest rival, which is Florida State, had a chance to, like, become, like, an in-conference rivalry. Not just an in-state rivalry, but also an in-conference rivalry. But, yeah. Seems like Florida State's trying to go to the Big Ten, which makes no sense at all. If they wanted to leave, they should just come join the SEC. Pretty sure the SEC, especially since the Big Ten is basically hoarding all the teams now, I'm pretty sure the SEC would gladly take in FSU to try to keep up with the Big Ten. Who knows? Maybe if Greg Sankey can buy Alabama a playoff spot, then I'm pretty sure he could also buy Florida State to join the conference. But yeah, I think I'm in that video right there. Make sure you have a good day, and make sure you go check out the Volstar podcast tonight if we do it, because sometimes Squidtard, he has so much trouble with school. So yeah, but as of right now, we're doing it. So yeah, make sure you go check us on at 8.